Hey, truth seekers, welcome back. Zach here. In the first video I made about the death of Antonin Scalia, I pointed out how the reference to him quail hunting the day before his death reminded me of Dick Cheney, who had reportedly shot a lawyer friend in the face years earlier while quail hunting in Texas as well. Today, somebody pointed out to me that on the show Family Guy, there is an episode from May of 2007 where there is some dialogue between the Grim Reaper where he points out that Dick Cheney has killed Karl Rove, who is a former Republican strategist, very active during the George W. Bush administration, president number 43. When this episode came out, 2007, Bush was still in office. Karl Rove was his right-hand man. Also killed Antonin Scalia and Tucker Carlson, the right-wing news pundit, the Republican talking piece, the little fascist who wears a bow tie. But notice, Dick Cheney kills Scalia. Truth Seeker, I have shown this before about Family Guy. I've shown this type of coding in regards to the Boston Marathon bombing, also the prediction of Bruce Jenner making the transition to a woman. And I'm sure there's many other episodes that have forecast other important events. I'm not aware of this, though, because I don't watch the show Family Guy. I can't stand it. I can't stand most things in the mainstream. Anyhow, the episode is called Meet the Quagmires. Came out May 20th, 2007. I want to show you all that stands out here. Meet the Quagmires has gematria of 87. Quagmires also has gematria of 47, an important number in regards to judge. Judge equals 47, gavel equals 47. These are Masonic signatures. Jury is 74, the reflection of 47. Obey is 47. Words such as authority have gematria of 47. 47, very special number, coded into Family Guy, very much having to do with judge. Scalia was a judge. Meet the Quagmires in Pythagorean gematria sums to 87, which also reminds of Antonin Scalia. Antonin equals 87. Justice equals 87. Pillow equals 87. I bring up pillow because right now in the mainstream media there's all this conspiracy theory around a pillow being above his head, a detail that came out after the fact. If you're new to my channel, I'm showing how the mainstream media is actively contriving stories by the numbers, something I have been proving beyond any shadow of a doubt, something that would hold up in a courtroom since 2013. So anyhow, Dick Cheney in this episode is joked about killing Scalia. And in my very first video, I brought this up as well. What I didn't do was take the time to do the gematria of Dick Cheney. Dick Cheney equals 87. How fitting. Dick Cheney accidentally shot a lawyer, supposedly, in the face in history, quail hunting in Texas. Scalia died the day after quail hunting in Texas. This episode came out on May 20th, 2007, a date with numerology of 34, the number of murder. Murder the big way 79, like the age Scalia died at. Also a date with 16 numerology. Scalia has died now in the beginning of 2016. The way the dialogue goes in the episode is the Grim Reaper, who's referred to as Death. Man, it's been a busy day. Dick Cheney, the chairman of Halliburton, shot Supreme Court Justice Scalia in a hunting accident, and the bullet went right through him and killed Karl Rove and Tucker Carlson. So, Scalia died on the 44th day of the year. Lupercalia has gematria 44. I pointed this out about Dick Cheney. He's from Wyoming, the 44th state in order of statehood. The word kill has gematria of 44. Dick Cheney's hunting accident took place on February 11th, 2006. Scalia died on February 13th. Very close proximity, these events in history, separated by a decade. At the time, I wondered if this was even a real story about Dick Cheney because he didn't really speak about it. It was just a bunch of media hearsay. And in 2006, I had figured out that the mainstream media was fake. I knew that on September 11th, 2001, there was nothing to be trusted out of this mainstream media. We got actively bombarded with propaganda and lies about what happened on September 11th. It was very transparent to me as an 18-year-old. I've never trusted the media, not a word since. And I don't know why so many people still do. People have not learned the lesson. The media is here to lie to us, deceive us, mislead us. It steers us down the path of an agenda that works against us. So anyhow, at the time of this story, I was questioning, is this even a real story or are they just putting this out there for another distraction? The date of his shooting was February 11th, the 42nd day of the year. It's these Freemasons who operate by this numerological code. Freemason equals 42. Freemason with the S exception also equals 51, like conspiracy. Scalia died on a date with 51 numerology. Antonin Scalia equals 52, like Freemason, like conspiracy. The small way, Cheney equals 33, just like Antonin, just like justice. Another connection between these people, this event. Scalia was born on a date with a life lesson number of 33. In the story of the Dick Cheney shooting, the woman who broke the story said the shooting happened on her ranch, was Catherine Armstrong. Catherine, a name with 42 gematria, fitting for a shooting on the 42nd day of the year. Armstrong, a name with 44 gematria. And a little side point on Armstrong, the first man to land on the moon, Neil Armstrong. He landed in the time of Cancer. Cancer has a gematria of 44, so does space. Think about landing on the moon in the time of Cancer. In astrology, Cancer is ruled by the moon. Our whole history is synced up by numbers, by astrology, by things that are studied by the esoteric, that are studied by these secret societies such as Freemasonry. And I'm trying to clue people in as a researcher working from the outside. Here's Wyoming, the 44th state where Dick Cheney's from. Dick Cheney's Life of Politics, Wyoming to the White House. What a joke. As for Family Guy, Family Guy has the gematria of 47 and 119. These are the numbers of Zionism. This nation is a Jewish Masonic Zionist creation. Star of David, the symbol of the Zionists, has gematria of 119 and 47, just like Family Guy. You look at the Zionist agents in the media, from Seth MacFarlane to Jerry Springer. The entertainment that these people are allowed to bring to the TV is poisoning, constantly teaching people negative behavior. Family Guy, just full of negative, crude humor. It's not good for us as a society. I can't stand to watch it. It makes me sick. Family Guy debuted directly after Super Bowl 33 in history in 1999. Supposedly was the 33rd best show according to the Nielsen ratings. It debuted on a date with 33 numerology after Super Bowl 33. Nielsen equals 33. It's just a big Freemason show out. The name Seth Woodbury McFarland has gematria of 96, just like the word Freemason the big way. Freemason the small way is 42, like his middle name Woodbury. You see what's going on here? There's a reason that Family Guy knows to script these shows years in advance. They're just following this numerological code. They probably say, hey, Seth, make sure you drop this reference about Dick Cheney shooting so-and-so, because they have all this stuff planned out, which is what I said in my first video. Scalia's probably not dead. This is probably when his career was scripted to end. He died on Lupercalia, the 44th day of the year, having gematria of 44 and 98. His career on the bench began with a 98-0 vote, something unprecedented, 98-0. This is all the script, and it's all by the numbers. I can't say it enough. Family Guy, after debuting on the Super Bowl, its next episode would be on April 11th, 1999, a date connected to assassinations in history. I'm telling you, this show is about assassinating the entire nation, all the people who are subjected to it. This show negatively programs people. You wonder why the country's declined so fast from the 90s up to the present? It's been shows like Family Guy. This programming on TV, the music, it really does poison people. It has. The Bruce Jenner thing, I talked about all this coding, did several episodes. He debuted on Vanity Fair, having gematria of 53, just like transgender, just like gender the big way. Family Guy predicted that Bruce Jenner would make the transition in a May 3rd episode, 5/3, syncing up with all the 53 coding. In regards to Bruce Jenner, the year of this story was the year that he turned 66. 66 is important because Jenner equals 66, a name that sounds like gender. So does woman. He's making the transition from man to woman. Woman equals 66. The date he turned 66 on was a date with 53 numerology, like transgender, like all the 53 coding on all the Bruce Jenner shit. I gotta tell you, Truth Seeker, I'm really frustrated because I've been nailing this stuff for so long, and somehow the word's not spreading, and somehow there's all these other supposed truth tellers on YouTube who don't spread any of this information, these channels that have hundreds of thousands of subscribers. They want to share all this meaningless bullshit, but nobody wants to share the truth as I'm putting out. I mean, this is undeniable. No one has it figured out as well as me, Truth Seeker. I don't care how ignorant that sounds. It's because no one's put in as much time, I don't think, on this earth to figuring out the truth as me since September 11th. On that day, I decided my life was now about something else. You know, it was about stopping the wrongdoing I saw. So I've been researching, reading, trying to understand. A few years ago, I made this breakthrough with reading the numerology, the gematria. And this is why I've been working at it so hard ever since, because I started to see things like this years ago. Now here it all is, spelled out for you, decoded for you, undeniable. For all of you who watch other truth channels, I want you to start questioning, hey, how come you're not talking about gematria? This gematria knowledge has to get out. Can't be emphasized enough. It can't just be keep coming from me. I'm the only channel really putting it out. And all these bigger channels are saying I'm a kook for talking about numbers, you know? Recognize the frauds around you, truth seeker. This world's full of frauds, not many truth tellers. And stop watching these shows put out by the Masons. Stop supporting their propaganda. Alright, until next time. Encore, one last point. I already have a video on this, but just in case you've missed it, Family Guy also predicted the Boston Marathon bombing. Going back in time, I want you to remember these important facts. Tsarnaev, the younger brother of the two brothers blamed for the bombing, which was definite propaganda, a definite hoax, was born on July 22nd, 1993. This is a date with 33 numerology. 722 also has to do with pi and circles and cycles and propaganda. Anyhow, his birth year of 93 also connects to the bombing itself. Boston Marathon bombing has gematria of 93, just like propaganda. That's what all of this stuff is on TV, from the fake news to the coded cartoons such as Family Guy and The Simpsons. This is all multiple forms of Masonic propaganda. The powers that be are trying to reach the masses, and they know they have to reach them through multiple avenues. Music, movies, shows, news, fake religion. And they do it all. They've achieved it because they've built this world around us. It's undeniable, truth seeker. Undeniable. Alright, until next time.